Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of What They Don't Say. And when it comes to this Epstein debacle, fiasco, brouhaha, what they don't say is common sense. Where is the common sense in this whole frigging nightmare? Because the truth is, they're trying to portray this as a lefty-inspired attack on MAGA. No, it's not. This is MAGA people being upset because they're seeing justice denied. Now, one of the things that really set this off, a lot of people have been upset with Pam Bondi. I have. I won't be shy about it. This is a new channel, and I already did 2 videos about why Pam Bondi should be removed. I think she's incompetent. I think the only reason that she is in there was because she did Trump some favors when she was the AG down in Florida. She's being rewarded for that because he knows that she is fiercely loyal to him. That's great that she's loyal to him, but the AG answers to the American people, just like Trump does. This isn't Trump's government, it's ours. I know he's got priorities, so do we. And it begins with justice. Now, it's really dividing the camp of the Trump supporters, and that's unfortunate, and I'm seeing some really crazy stuff. The real hardcore Trump supporters, the ones, if Trump came out tomorrow and said the sky is not blue, it is plaid. The people who would say, see, it's the art of the deal. It's plaid. Trust him. He knows something we don't. Those people are out there. Unfortunately, they would start telling you the sky is plaid. But the reason the MAGA crowd grew in the first place was because there was an intelligence behind it. Everything about it made sense. Now, after seeing everything from the Kennedy assassination, all the Clinton crimes, the death of Vince Foster, Benghazi, Fast and Furious, the list goes on and on and on. And we never see justice with high-level crimes out of D.C. We have a royal class of elite in this country that is untouchable. And that is who was going to hang out with Epstein. We know this. Now they're saying there's no list. Well, that's not true. There's a list. There's a list recorded in court documents for Alan Dershowitz. Now, Alan Dershowitz is well known to be a liberal Democrat. He's not one of these radical lefties. He's just an old-fashioned liberal. He's still a patriot and everything. He just sees things different. But that guy sounds like a raging conservative compared to these lefties today. In his own court document, that list is on record. He was supposed to be on that list. He was reported to be on that list. He had to put it into court documents to prove that he wasn't. He says that he has seen the list. He said he knows people on the list. The list exists. So don't come back telling us that there is no list. Don't come back telling us that there is no video evidence. The entire Epstein Island was wired with cameras. They admitted it. They said there's tens and thousands of hours of video. Okay, we know this. So don't come back and tell us the cover story so that they don't have to release them. They're trying to use the cover story. Well, it's all child porn and we won't disseminate child porn. We're above that. Bullshit. You don't have to show the public the sex act. You can blur out the kid, okay? And just show the guilty perverts that were raping these kids. Trump is telling us nobody cares about Epstein anymore. You're damn right. We don't care about Epstein. I hope he's dead. I'm beginning to wonder what we can believe out of these people. I don't believe the suicide. Most of America doesn't believe it was suicide because that's what happens with this government. MAGA was begun with the belief that we were finally going to achieve justice. Trump's first campaign was focused on lock her up, lock her up. We thought we were going to see justice. No one talked about locking her up anymore, do they? Nope. Bill Barr got in there. 2 weeks. He said, well, we completed our investigation. We found no evidence that Hillary Clinton ever committed any crimes. In 2 weeks you did that? That was the first really major cover-up under Trump. That was a severe cover-up. It went away. People forgave him for it because of everything else that was going on. The Epstein case goes too far. Mr. Trump, it is not Epstein we care about. These children were trafficked for sex. They were abused. We care about that. There are laws on the books. We care about that. In the year 1215, we had a really bad king over there in England, King John, and he was a tyrant. So the nobles, who are basically the governors of today, they got together and they came up with a document called the Magna Carta. It stipulated that all laws apply equally no matter who you are in society, whether you're at the top or whether you're at the bottom. Now we have lawmakers and cronies of lawmakers. They can make laws that fine us, that lock us up. They can strip us of our property. And they are above all of them. We are 800 years behind. In 1215, they made laws against that are being ignored in America today, even though our Constitution was based on that. Our founders referred to it. Equality. Equal justice. Lady Justice. The famous statue we've all seen holding the balance scales. She has a blindfold on as she holds the scales of justice. A blindfold. That means no matter who you are, the laws apply equally. Equal justice for all. We are not getting that, and we know it. Trump, you can brag about what you've done because you have done a lot. We appreciate everything that you've done, but don't expect us to sit down, shut up, when we know that there was so much crime perpetrated for years at Epstein Island. We know there is evidence. Both sides of government have told us there is evidence. Your own people have told us there was evidence. Pam Bondi said that they had a truckload of it out of the Southern District of New York. Tens of thousands of hours of videos, all from Bondi. For some reason, that's all going to go away now. And we're not supposed to care? Mr. President, we care. We care because we want equal justice. God bless you for what you've done. We support that. We continue to support you. However, I'm getting upset with the fact that these hardcores, the plaid sky Republicans, are saying, well, if you think Trump's wrong on this, why don't you just go back and vote for Kamala again? I'm telling you, I wish all the idiots were in the Democrat Party, but unfortunately they're not. I have a right. Every intelligent person has a right to disagree. People will disagree with a spouse that they have for 50 years. They will disagree and get upset with their own children. They will disagree and get upset with coworkers, with their employer, with their church. And we're not supposed to get upset and disagree with this president? Bullshit. We've got every right to call him out when he's wrong. It is our duty as citizens of the free republic to speak our minds. That's what the freedom of speech is about. When Trump berated that reporter in the cabinet meeting, those cabinet meetings are televised because, Mr. Trump, you promised transparency and you've been given it. That reporter was doing their job by asking a question about Epstein because there's millions of us that have the same questions. When you berated that reporter and said, what? You're still talking about that? Yes, Mr. President. They're talking about it because we are not satisfied. Justice is denied. Justice is denied, and once again, another big crime ring of dirty people tied to DC and global power is walking away with crimes that we would go to prison for life. They're walking away from it scot-free, and you, sir, are leading it. Do not tell us that Pam Bondi has to go after Act Blue. She has to go after the 2020 election sealer. No, sir, she does not. Pam Bondi runs a department with 80,000 employees. Pam Bondi does not investigate anything. That is not her job. Don't tell us she doesn't have time. Her job is to delegate. She puts a team together and says, you guys do this. Check back with me. She follows up on that. It isn't her job, and we know it's not her job, Mr. President. Do not insult us. Pam Bondi had plenty of time to put on her little baseball cap and camo, go out riding in a Bearcat Raiders raid SWAT team machine on a raid, and act like she was taking part in a raid. She had plenty of time to do that. Yeah, we know they had to have special protections out there for her. We know it was a pain in the ass for the guys who were actually conducting the raid to have to also provide for her protection, but she wanted that stage moment. Actually, Pam Bondi's been chasing cameras ever since she got to DC, and now all of a sudden no one can find her. Now all of a sudden she won't take any questions from reporters. She loves the camera. All of a sudden she disappeared because you guys don't have answers for us. There is no justice occurring in the Epstein investigation. Okay, common sense. You say that there is no evidence. It doesn't exist anymore. All right, then let's have an investigation into the corruption behind the destruction of evidence, obstruction of justice. That evidence existed. The FBI had it. You guys better dig in and find out who the hell got rid of it, because I don't believe it's gone. Evidently, a large share of the 80 million Trump voters don't believe that evidence is gone. There wasn't just one copy of everything. We know that. A lot of people saw it. Let's get those people in and let them all say what they saw. Witnesses and victims are still alive. There's a lot of them around. Get them in there. Let's hear what they've got to say. Let's start over again. Don't pretend everything's gone when these people are still alive. Yes, this deserves to be investigated. Yes, we deserve our answers. We do not deserve to be told, oh, that's just stupid. That's a lefty ploy. Nobody cares about Epstein. Yes, sir, you are not reading the room. Obviously, people care, or you wouldn't still be talking about it. Bondi wouldn't be hiding from it. I don't know what's really going on with this Kash Patel and Dan Bongino brouhaha that they're cooking up. None of us really knows. We hear about it in the press. We can't believe the press anymore. We wanted to believe you. That's one of the things that was so important about what's known as MAGA, which is really just a Trump presidency, but it gave us something to believe in. You shattered that when you turned and berated that reporter because you were talking to us. You were telling us, that's done. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're done. That's going to go away. Move on. You were talking to us. That's who people talk to when they talk to reporters. They talk to the audience. No, sir, we are not going to shut up. We are not going to go away. There were children that were trafficked. Why is it important when Abrego Garcia can be busted for trafficking charges? While you guys are letting how many hundreds or thousands get away with it just because they're elitists. This is not right. We're talking about justice. We're talking about the lives of children that were destroyed. We cannot accept being told we've done so many great things for the country. Let us get away with covering up something really, really horrible. That doesn't fly. This is an unforced error. Trump is the only one who could have split MAGA, and he dropped a bomb right in the middle of the camp. Now we're hearing, well, we've got to worry about midterms. We can't win midterms if this becomes a problem. Are you telling me that the only Republican path to victory in midterms is to cover up horrendous crimes, a huge scandal, to once again screw the American people out of justice? That is a Republican path to victory? That sounds to me like it's more justification for a new party. We aren't going to take that. We think for ourselves. We were Trump supporters because we think for ourselves and we saw the difference. We saw the damages. We saw the potential. We wanted the potential to cross everything. Not just success and defense of the country, not just prosperity, but justice. We thought a Trump presidency would bring an end to the systemic corruption that we have witnessed all of our lives. I really hope that if this continues and is not addressed, I hope Bongino does quit. I wasn't a fan of him. I've always thought of him as establishment, but if he's refusing to play along with this, I got nothing but respect for him. Kash Patel, I don't know. We'll see where he finally falls on this. So far, he's sticking to it. That can change in a heartbeat. Pam Bondi needs to go. She does not have the support of the American people. Mr. President, it is not the job of the AG to serve as your personal attack attorney. Everybody that you're talking about that she's focusing on outside of the illegals, everybody is a political enemy of yours. She is not there just for the political enemy. She is there to bring justice. There is no justice in this Epstein mess. A lot of people are asking the question, if nobody's guilty, if there's no evidence, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? Why is she in prison for providing girls to people who don't exist? We know there were customers, thousands. We've heard the stories from these girls. We know some of the names, and we are being denied justice. Sir, that simply won't do. Sometimes truth hurts. This is hurting more. Donald Trump is the only person on earth that could have split his own base. And that is what he just did. There is a very easy way to fix this. Have a big press conference and say, to address the concerns of the American people, we are reopening the investigation. We are going to put everything out there. Don't hide behind the fact that, well, some of his child porn puts a little blurry spot on the little kid in the video. Because we aren't believing this. If you want to fix this, prosecute it. Because otherwise this is not going away, and it's a dark stain on this administration that I didn't want. Nobody wanted this. It got forced upon us. When you turned on that reporter and said this is over, it got forced upon us. Pam Bondi herself bragged about the fact that she put the Bondi bundles together when she called in all the influencers, conservative influencers, and gave them phase 1 folders of the Epstein files. Liz Wheeler was there. She got one of them. You ought to hear what she's got to say about this now. Mr. President, I think you probably have. She is not happy. She knows they got taken for a ride. The Bondi bundles were a prop. She had time to do that. She brags that she did it herself. Somebody orchestrated that whole thing. Do not tell me that Pam Bondi doesn't have time to provide justice for hundreds of kids that were victims of thousands of pedophiles. Do not cover up the pedophiles and tell us that you are MAGA. If that is what MAGA is, I don't want anything to do with it. That's just looking like old establishment to me. I'm a little concerned about the fact Mr. Trump had 4 years in office and never hired a good attorney general. We had Sessions. We had a couple interims, which, by the way, Matt Whitaker as an interim would have been the choice to keep. The problem with him is that guy is a pit bull. He's very good, and he wouldn't play these kind of games. He didn't get to stay. What was the other one? Rosenthal? He was a come and go. But we had Jeff Sessions. Horrible choice. I said it was horrible from the start. Then we blunder around for a little bit, and Bill Barr gets pulled out of the swamp mothballs. I thought the administration was going to drain the swamp, not use it as an employee pool. But here comes Bill Barr to kill the Hillary investigation in under 2 weeks. Now here we are. The next really great scandal to rock the world and this country was Epstein, and now it has been buried. If you're going to dig the hole and bury it, you're going to throw MAGA in the hole with it. Because this is a wound that's not going to heal from good people. This isn't crazy lefties. This is good people. This is the Christians. This is the people with families. This is the people with businesses. This isn't the Antifa lefties. Do not portray us as lefties manipulating and trying to divide the country, trying to turn people against MAGA. No, we came from that camp and got crapped on. Do not piss on our legs and tell us it's raining. Do not tell us that there's nothing there after years of telling us there was. We deserve better. Bondi, I don't believe is going to do it. She might be serving every beck and call of the president, but she's not serving every beck and call of the Constitution and equal justice, the founding principles of America. That is her job. She does not take an oath of office to do everything she's told by the president as she's told, even if it means covering up crimes. That's not in the oath. They swear an oath to uphold law and the Constitution, not bury it. The whole thing stinks. I don't even want to be discussing this. I really don't. I put this off. 2 days ago I was going to do this. And now there's a very lengthy damage control document from Trump. The longest one I've seen him put out. A full long page, which you see right here. Freeze it and watch it if you want, or you can find it online. But it basically tells us that the people that are pushing the Epstein issue are Democrats, are lefties trying to divide the country. No, sir, we are not. That's why it's a problem, because it's your own base. It's a little insulting to see the line where you describe Jeffrey Epstein as the guy that doesn't die. Well, last time I heard from you, January 6th didn't die. The stolen election of 20 didn't die. Who picks and chooses which crimes die? As long as we're talking about the stolen election of 20, how come Pelosi hasn't been prosecuted? Is she also among the elites that can't be touched? Everyone knows the evidence against her. No, she's a top Democrat. I guess if Hillary gets a free pass, Pelosi does too. We are tired of this. We are tired of having a royal class of elites in America that are either in or directly tied to the government that never gets prosecuted for crimes of any kind unless it's politically expedient. If one of the parties wants somebody out, heck yes, they'll jump all over them. Or if they do something so egregious and stupid, it can't be hidden, it can't be buried, there's too much evidence out too fast. Yeah, they'll throw one of those away once in a while, make a big show out of it like, look, we don't care who it is. Yeah, there's thousands of people that go free in D.C. We know this. This is why we voted Trump. We wanted justice. We wanted Magna Carta, where the laws apply equally to the man in the gutter and the man in the White House, the man in the corporate boardroom. Everybody is subject to the same laws, to the same prosecution. We're not getting that. So if you wonder why Americans are mad, yeah, that's it. We know justice is denied. You can't do that. You can't treat people like they're stupid. It's not the MAGA, so-called MAGA crowd. MAGA is not a religion. It's not a cult. It's certainly not a political party. It's a ideology behind a candidate who became a president. Make America great again. That's an ideology. But I liked it a lot better when MAGA included equal justice under the law and the protection of children, the prosecution of pedophiles internationally engaged in child trafficking for sexual exploitation, including violent acts. No, I draw the line there. Good people do. What we're hearing is not good enough because this is not going to go away unless there's justice. It's that simple. If you want it to go away, apply justice equally under the law. Otherwise, it's just more of the same. And nobody voted for that. Does that mean you hate Trump just because he's looking like part of the cover-up? No, I don't hate him. Hell, he stopped a couple of wars. He got the nukes out of Iran. He's helped the economy. He brought Musk in and they got some Doge work done that exposed a lot of corruption that is also not being prosecuted under Bondi. Let's bring that up while we're at it. If you're in government, you don't get prosecuted. Not if it can be tied to the top. That's what we're tired of. Let's make equal justice under the law a part of MAGA. That's the missing part right now. You want to sell us on MAGA? Make it a whole package. I hope you're getting something out of this program. It's still pretty new. We're still earning our keep here on YouTube, trying to get in the algorithm. We need people to like, comment, subscribe. Likes and subscribing, that's the biggest way you can help us real easy. Take the time, make a comment. We'll talk about anything you want. If you disagree, let us know. We can talk about that too. We got to get this right, though, with this whole Epstein thing, because what we're seeing is wrong. Horribly wrong. Imagine being the girls that were victims of these guys, sitting at home, curled up on the couch. You already got mental issues, and you're watching the president and his team, his AG, say there's nothing can be done, and smile and walk away. Oh, there's something more important. How about Act Blue donations? No, I don't think that's any comfort for the child on the couch, the grown child now. The young women that survived this, we got to do better by them. Maybe then God will continue to bless this great country of ours.